There is a common belief that spending time alone is always healthy, but the human brain tells a more complicated story. When you stop talking to people for an extended period, your brain begins to experience a subtle yet significant shift. Conversations are not merely exchanges of words, they are mental exercises that keep multiple regions of the brain active. Every interaction requires you to process language, interpret emotions, understand different perspectives, and formulate responses. When these interactions disappear, the brain loses an important source of stimulation. At first, the silence may feel peaceful and even refreshing, especially if you have been overwhelmed by social obligations. However, as days turn into weeks, the absence of communication can cause the mind to become increasingly focused on itself. Without fresh ideas, opinions, and emotional feedback from others, your thoughts may start looping in repetitive patterns. Small worries can seem larger than they really are, and your internal dialogue can become louder than ever before. One of the most profound effects of social isolation is its impact on emotional well-being. Human beings are biologically wired for connection, and meaningful conversations trigger the release of chemicals such as dopamine and oxytocin, which are associated with happiness, trust, and emotional security. When communication is removed, the brain receives fewer of these positive signals, often leading to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, or sadness. Research has shown that prolonged isolation can increase levels of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. As cortisol remains elevated, people may experience difficulties sleeping, concentrating, or managing their emotions. This is because talking to others acts as a natural form of emotional regulation. Sharing your thoughts with a friend, family member, or even a casual acquaintance helps the brain process experiences and reduce psychological stress. Without that outlet, emotions often remain trapped inside, growing heavier over time. The effects are not limited to emotions alone. Regular social interaction plays a critical role in maintaining cognitive health and mental sharpness. Every conversation challenges the brain to recall memories, organize thoughts, interpret social cues, and respond appropriately in real time. These activities strengthen neural pathways that support memory, attention, and problem-solving abilities. When a person stops engaging with others, these mental workouts become less frequent, and the brain may gradually lose some of its efficiency. Studies have found that socially active individuals tend to maintain stronger cognitive function as they age, while chronic isolation has been linked to faster cognitive decline. In many ways, conversations are like exercise for the mind. Just as muscles weaken when they are not used, certain cognitive abilities can become less sharp when deprived of regular social engagement. However, solitude itself is not the enemy. In moderation, spending time alone can encourage creativity, self-reflection, and personal growth. The problem arises when solitude transforms into prolonged isolation. The healthiest brains find a balance between quiet moments of introspection and meaningful human connection. While periods of silence can help us understand ourselves better, conversations help us understand the world around us and our place within it. They remind us that we are seen, valued, and connected to something larger than ourselves. The next time you consider withdrawing completely from social interaction, remember that every meaningful conversation does more than fill the silence. It nourishes your brain, supports your emotional health, and strengthens the very neural networks that make you who you are.